Hello, Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum assalam, sir.
Um, how are you?
I'm
Uh,
fine, sir. How are you?
I'm good. Your name is good name.
My name is Razia.
Okay,
Razia
thank
Jamil.
you. So, uh, Shahzar, are you available? Hello, Benard Osiron.
Hello. Yes, I'm
Hi.
available.
Yeah, Benard, how are you?
I'm really very fine and greatly honored to be part of this. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Okay, so let's start our mock interview series. As we know that this is one of the healthy activity which we are going to organize here today. In the panel, we have Benard Osiron. He will introduce himself in a while, and Shahzar is also available. So let's start with a short introduction one by one, and then start this mock interview activity. Okay, so my name is Shahzeb Hassan. I'm a chemical process engineer, and I've 8 years of oil refinery and petrochemical complex experience. Benard Osiron, can you introduce yourself?
Thank you very much for the opportunity you've given to me. My name is Benard Osiron. I'm a practicing chemical engineer from Uganda. I have worked in the industry for the last 6 years, and that is before I moved to the service industry. I have vast experience in the pharmaceutical manufacturing industry and the consulting and engineering. I'm really very honored to be part of this interview session. Thank you.
Thank you, Benard. Shahzar, can you introduce yourself? Shahzar, can you hear me? Shahzar, are you there? Okay, I'm introducing him on his behalf. He's a process engineer in agropolymer and chemical. He's looking after the PVC net 1, 2, 3, and he has
Hello, can I say something? Can you guys hear me? Okay, so yeah, so my name is Shahzar. So I welcome all the participants here in this session. So I'm actually a graduate from NEDUET University from chemical engineering, and I started off my career in the design consultancy firm. Started off with some projects with regards to oil and gas sector. Then I move on to agropolymers and chemicals and the process engineering section for the PVC facilities. So this is a short little introduction. As far as my experience in agropolymers is concerned, it's actually more or less around 2.5 years of experience as far as agropolymers is concerned, and overall I have an experience of around like 3 years, almost 3.5 years almost. So looking forward to this session. Let's hope that we, uh, have a fruitful time ahead.
Okay. So, Shahzar, are you listening me? My voice is
Yeah.
clear?
Perfect. It's perfect.
Okay. So, Razia, over to you. Introduce yourself, and we will continue with your interview. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sir, my name is Razia, and I'm from NED University. I'm doing chemical engineering, and my FIP project is related to vinyl chloride monomer processing plant, in which we are designing the control technique so that we could control its temperature. Um, Also, I have done an internship in petrochemical engineering consultant, where I have studied commonly, mostly about how to transport fluids from one place to another. Basically, it is focused on hydraulic studies. And my hobbies are that I love to play badminton and I love reading books.
Okay. Very good, Razia. Can you tell us the difference between the centrifugal pumps and PD pumps?
Sorry, centrifugal pumps and
Uh, can you differentiate or explain the difference between the centrifugal pump and PD pumps?
PD pump. Centrifugal pump basically focus on rotation. Whereas in positive displacement pumps, it basically focuses on they basically varies in pressure and flow rate. That in rotatory pumps, flow rate are more commonly focused, whereas in positive displacement pump, pressures are more focused.
Okay, so Benard and Shahzar, we will continue asking questions in rotation
Yeah.
one by one,
Absolutely.
so that we all must participate in equal manner. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have just
So over
one
to
question.
yeah.
Can I ask something? Yeah. In extent, what Shahzeb just asked you is, just tell me the basic, working principle. If I, in a very like general terms, what is the basic principle of, the centrifugal pump operations? What is the basic difference, the working principle of it, just for the centrifugal pump, if we talk about it?
Um, 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 can I? The thing is that your voice is quite low. I think I should. I'm not hearing the question.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Am I audible?
Yes, now you are.
Okay. Yeah, so I was just asking a little question to start off things. First, I would just like to ask you, what's the basic principle, if I ask you with regards to centrifugal pump operation, what's the basic principle of it? What's the basic equation or the basic fundamental principle behind the centrifugal pump operation?
Bernoulli equation.
And if you can explain a little bit about it, just brief about it. What's the connection between the Bernoulli's equation with the centrifugal pump?
Bernoulli equation basically deals with the relationship between velocity and pressure. So velocity is basically inversely proportional to pressure, and to that we could link it.
And what is your opinion with regards to the flow rates and the velocity? If I'm able to increase the velocity, if I'm able to increase the flow rates of the fluid, would it be increasing the velocity proportionally?
Yes.
And consequently, what will the impact on the pressures of the stream?
Inverse.
Razia, do you know about the affinity loss for the centrifugal pumps?
Um,
I hope
uh,
that, yeah, my voice is clear to you.
Yeah.
I
We
think
can
I
all hear
should
you.
get a headphone. Can you give me 2 minutes?
Yeah, sure. Benard, how's the temperature there in Uganda? Is it hot today?
Uganda is really very fine. It's just a bit hot. It is shining.
What's the temperature there?
Yes.
How much is the temperature?
No, it's around the 29. You're very low. You're very low. I can't hear you.
Quite pleasant, right?
You're low. Try to speak out. Try to speak up. I can't hear you.
Am I audible now?
So, Benard, can you hear me now? Is it clear?
It's clear.
So, where were we?
Uh,
Is it me asking?
I think Mr. Shahzar was asking something.
No, you had already answered my question. Shahzeb was asking you about the affinity laws, na?
Okay.
Okay. Jamil,
Would you like to respond to that question?
I don't know about that. I'm sorry about that.
Okay, perfectly. Fine. Benard, would you like to ask any question from your side?
Yes, I would like to ask you that after the end of the interview, can you tell me the drawbacks so that I can improve on it?
We could all surely be happy to do that. So, Bernard, would you ask some questions to start off?
yes. Jamil, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I know you're fasting.
Yes.
Happy Ramadan.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
That's great. From your introduction, you talked about design, right?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, that's perfect. I have 1 or 2 questions about chemical plant design. You know, before we do any work, there is always a need, possibly from the market, that we plan to solve, right?
Yes.
I would like to ask you to give us 2 scenarios where chemical plant design is applicable. When is chemical plant design or simply design applicable or necessary? That's one.
Yes.
The second one, kindly tell us some of the key factors of consideration when you're carrying out plant design.
Can you repeat the second question?
The second question is, what are the key factors of consideration that you have to look at during chemical plant design?
The first question I would like to answer that chemical process design is must to increase the production as well as to ensure safety, because as we can see that in as we are moving towards a very friendly and a combining world is is coming together with one another, and with the help of technology we are proceeding. So engineers mostly try their best to provide leisure to people, and mostly the engineers that are involved in industries are chemical and mechanical and electrical and many other. So chemical engineers are basically help in focusing on the production, so that the requirements of people can be fulfilled, their desires can be fulfilled, so that they could get their required, desired product. And the second question was that what are the key considerations that we have to keep in mind. uh, I think the key considerations are that how much quantity that we should produce, and what type of quality that we should focus on, and there are many other factors. We should also focus on the requirements and the our budget that the industry has, so that we could maximize its production uh, in the limit of their cost, and in the limitation of their cost and equipment.
Well, thank you for that elaborate explanation. However, I would like to take you back to question 1. Do we just do plant design without a cause?
No, we can, I think there are many other factors that, yeah, mostly.
Can you tell us 2 scenarios where plant design is necessary?
Plant design is necessary.
Yes. When do we think of when do we think of doing plant design?
Most commonly in industries. First of all, the industries are targeted, and second, I think mostly in industries. There are soap industries, pharmaceutical, and many other, oil and gas.
Are you convinced? Okay. Chemical plant design applies when there is need to improve an existing process. Is that true?
Yes.
A second one, when there is need to design a new process.
Yes.
Those are the 2 scenarios. We can only think of chemical plant design when there is need to improve an already existing process, or when there is need to come up with a new design. Thank you very much. Shahzeb, over to you.
Yes, Razia, can you hear me now clearly?
Yes, sir.
So, Razia, tell me one situation where the pump cavitation is not happening, but still the pump is cavitating. Can you get my question?
Yes. Where the suction pressure is quite low, we can get cavitation near the impeller eye.
Yes. But the liquid head at the upstream vessel is adequate. It's not low, but still the pump is cavitating. Can you figure out that in which conditions we have this kind of cavitation? What is the normal lineup of the pump? Like pump is taken suction from the vessel, when it comes down, a strainer installed to remove the debris and foreign materials. Then after that,
there's a strainer, and after that, I think there's a pump.
and then at the discharge, what equipments we have?
At the discharge, we have, I think there's a valve, and after that, we have a vessel, or you can say.
What about NRV, non-return valve? Is it installed before the valve, isolation valve, or the after the isolation valve?
I think before.
Before or after?
I'm not confirmed.
Or where the pressure gauge is installed? After the discharge valve or before the discharge valve? To monitor the discharge pressure for the pump, that pump is
After.
fine. Okay. So, do you know about the space velocity in radial flow reactors?
Space velocity. Yes, I have heard that term. Yes.
So, what is its significance? Why we want to measure space velocity? It is one of the KPI, key performance indicator. So, do you have any idea about it?
Space velocity. I think it basically tells us about the reaction.
So, in this semester, how many subjects you are studying?
In this semester,
You study petroleum refinery?
petroleum refinery. I studied it in 7th semester.
Okay, so currently you are in 6th semester.
In 8th.
8th semester. So you have studied the petroleum refinery subject.
Yes, petroleum refinery.
So what's the difference between TBP and ASTM 86?
ASTM 86 and
TBP, true boiling point.
ASTM basically focus on the ASTM TBP basically provides TBP or true boiling curve basically provides us a more, you can say, ASTM basically provides us mixture. It doesn't completely gives us fractionation like TBP, because TBP provides components on the basis of their boiling points, and whereas ASTM basically provides us mixture.
Let's leave it. Tell me which one is more accurate, TBP or ASTM?
TBP.
Okay, so we have Oneeb Kapoor with us. His background is also from oil refinery. Oneeb, can you hear me? Oneeb? Shahzar, do you have any further questions from Razia? Otherwise, we will conclude this one and invite the other candidate.
Okay, Razia, can you hear me? Razia, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Me? Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, Shahzar.
You okay, sir? Okay. So I just had like a quick question. Tell me, what would be the consideration from your side if you're asked to replace a single pump having a higher capacity with two pumps in parallel operations? What would be your considerations about it? What would be the factors that will first determine just a broader key points about it?
I think I would consider two pumps in series because the bigger pump will require a larger power. So we should also keep the cost in mind. Also,
Okay,
it would
cost would
be
be the one
easy.
thing. Okay.
Yes, the cost will be the one thing, and it would be easy to monitor. It would be easy to monitor a large pump, but if a failure or an accident occur, it would be hard to control it. So I think we would prefer the pumps in series.
So in order to get the higher flow rates, if I ask you in case of a centrifugal pump, obviously, so you are saying that cost would be the one aspect and the other aspect would be the controlling of it, right? Because a higher capacity pump would mean larger size of it and obviously, so don't you think that I can manage it with with some sort of reducers and some sort of a valves like that? If I, for example, if I can manage it through that as well. Don't you think that? Why are you saying, okay, I mean, like controlling would be the other aspect? Just, elaborate on that front. What made you think that, controlling of a higher capacity pump is difficult compared to a pump, which is, considering two pumps, like operation of two pumps?
I think if the pump explodes or something like that, it would cause more
Mhm.
damage. But
Yeah, so you're saying that having a standalone pump would be would provide what doesn't would won't provide me with a contingency, right? Example like that's like one case, right? Okay, okay, okay. So done with it. Pandit, do you have any question? Shahzeb bhai, we can't hear you.
Yeah, Razia, thank you very much. You have performed very good. And you can leave now and ask the other candidate to join.
thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Just one last thing, Razia.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you earlier you just said to give your feedback. So Shahzeb bhai
Yes.
has already given you a very positive feedback, and that is what matters. Just one key point from my side, since you are in your last semester and will be heading into the into the complexes, refineries, and petrochemical facilities, hopefully, inshallah. So whenever you head into an interview, just be confident and try to use, I think, term less, right?
Yes.
Just be confident and try to make less use of the word, I think.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
All the very best ahead.
And one
Thank you.
more thing, Razia, you can, if you don't know the answer, you can say that I don't know. You can change questions. So this also
Yeah.
reflects your confidence over you. So do not break with words, but showing much more confidence when you don't know the things you have been asked. I'm planning to share the feedback separately to all the candidates because the time is short and we have to cover more candidates. So that's why I did not give you detailed feedback in the beginning and asked you to leave. Hope you don't mind. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Lapis.